1. The anatomy of hidden desire. Stop second-guessing every interaction and wondering if you're just reading into things. Attraction isn't a mystery. It is a predictable sequence of human behavior. When a woman begins to fantasize about you, when you start occupying a permanent recurring role in her mental life, she doesn't usually hand you a blueprint. Instead, she leaks her interest through high-level psychological triggers that bypass her conscious filter. These are not random quirks. They are involuntary signals that she has crossed the invisible line from friendly acquaintance to actively interested. Understanding these cues gives you the upper hand because you are no longer reacting to a chaotic social landscape. You are reading a clear nonverbal script. We are breaking down the top 10 subtle signs that she has shifted her perspective of you entirely, moving from the safe zone of friendship into the high-stakes territory of genuine attraction. By the time you reach the end of this, you will have the clarity to recognize the difference between polite social behavior and the electric energy of real intent. Stick around, and if these insights help you navigate your world with more confidence, join our community for daily deep dives into the mechanics of attraction. 2. The intensity of the gaze unmasking the signal. Eye contact is the oldest communication tool in human history, but passionate staring is a different beast entirely. Most people mistake polite social eye contact for interest, but real attraction is much more deliberate and weighted. When a woman is truly captivated by you, her eyes stop being just tools for navigation and become mirrors for her inner desire. The lingering look. We naturally look at what we value. In social settings, we usually hold someone's gaze for a second or two before scanning the room. If she holds your eyes for 3, 4, or even 5 seconds longer than normal, she is signaling that you are the most interesting thing in her environment. This lingering look acts as an invitation. It is her way of saying that she is fully focused on you, effectively blocking out everyone else. When you catch this, don't rush to look away. That slight pause in her gaze is her way of testing your confidence to see if you will hold your ground. The darting eye, the vulnerability response. There's a specific high-frequency behavior where she will stare at you intently, but the moment you lock eyes, she snaps her gaze away. This is not disinterest. It is the exact opposite. It is the vulnerability response. She is effectively caught fantasizing about you. When she realizes she has been staring, the sudden shame of being discovered causes her to retreat to protect her privacy. If you see her look away quickly, you know she has been watching you for a while. It is a sign that she is acutely aware of her attraction and feels a momentary flash of shyness or embarrassment because she knows, on some level, she is giving herself away. The biological leak, pupil dilation. This is the one sign she cannot control. No matter how good she is at acting cool, pupil dilation is a primal involuntary nervous system response. When we see something we are excited by, our brain triggers a release of chemicals that causes our pupils to expand to take in more light and more of the person we are looking at. If you notice her eyes look darker, or her pupils are noticeably larger when she is talking to you, compared to when she is talking to others, her body is literally reacting to your presence before she even speaks a word. It is a biological confession of interest that she has absolutely no power to fake or suppress. The soft focus, dropping the social mask. In most public interactions, people wear a social mask. Their eyes are slightly squinted or tense, prepared for the next social interaction. However, when she looks at you with a soft focus, those lines around her eyes disappear. Her eyes appear wider, more relaxed, and noticeably softer. This softening effect occurs only when she feels a deep sense of trust and comfort with you. It signals that she has dropped her defensive guard. In this state, she isn't scanning the room or looking for a way out. She is purely soaking in your presence. When you see her face shift into this relaxed, warm expression, it is a clear indicator that she views you as a safe harbor and is already mentally transitioning into a more intimate, emotional space with you. 3. The power of physical proximity, breaking the touch barrier. Physical touch is the ultimate shortcut in human interaction. It is the fastest way to bridge the gap between being a distant acquaintance and becoming an intimate partner. When a woman is interested in you, she will begin to use touch as a silent probe to test the boundaries of your personal space. She isn't just being clumsy or friendly, she is gathering data. She wants to see if you will lean in or pull away, and every point of contact is a high-stakes experiment to see if you are comfortable letting her into your private world. This transition from hands-off to constant contact is one of the most reliable indicators that she is already mentally exploring a deeper connection with you. Calculated accidents and the arm brush. You need to realize that in the world of attraction, casual brushes against your arm, shoulder, or back are almost never accidents. These are low-risk, high-reward maneuvers designed to establish a physical bond without her having to risk rejection. By grazing your arm as she walks past, or letting her shoulder lean into yours while looking at a phone screen, she is creating a micro-connection. This is her way of gauging your skin-to-skin chemistry. If you don't recoil and instead maintain your position, you are silently giving her the green light to continue. These moments are brief, but they serve as a foundation for physical comfort, slowly desensitizing you to her presence so that more significant touch feels natural later on. Playful tension, using humor as a physical shield. One of the most common ways a woman will initiate touch is by using humor as a shield. If she laughs at your joke and gives you a gentle shove or playfully nudges you with her elbow when you're teasing her, she is creating a physical anchor to a positive emotional peak. This is a brilliant social tactic because it allows her to touch you under the guise of just being playful. It removes the heavy romantic pressure while still building massive amounts of tension. By associating her touch with laughter and fun, she is subconsciously training your brain to crave her presence. She is moving the relationship from a polite, static conversation into a dynamic, physical dance, intimate gestures, and territorial signals. As her comfort grows, the touches will move from playful to intimate. If she starts touching your hands, adjusting your collar, or resting her hand on the small of your back, she has moved past the testing phase and is now establishing a territorial signal. These types of gestures require a high level of trust and indicate that she feels protective or possessive interest in you. Touching your fingers or hands is especially significant because it is a gateway to romantic intimacy. When she lingers in these areas, she isn't just being nice, she is effectively marking her territory and signaling to you and anyone else watching that there is a special, exclusive bond between the two of you. She is testing the waters to see if you will reciprocate and take the lead. 4. The psychology of praise and play, becoming her focus. Compliments and teasing may seem like opposites, but they are actually two sides of the same coin, active engagement. When a woman is fantasizing about a future with you, she stops being a passive observer who just happens to be in the room. She becomes an active participant in your life, constantly looking for ways to influence your mood and capture your attention. She is no longer just reacting to you. She is investing in you, and that investment shows up in the way she speaks and the way she plays. Specific affirmation, the detail-oriented compliment. A woman who is just being polite will give you generic praise like, "You look nice today." But a woman who is fantasizing about you will give you specific affirmations. She will notice the exact way you've styled your hair, the specific scent of your cologne, or a nuanced character trait, like the way you stay calm when things get chaotic. This level of detail proves that you are occupying significant mental real estate in her mind. She is studying you. When she points out these small things, she is doing two things. She is letting you know she's paying close attention, and she is building your confidence. By making you feel like a winner in her presence, she is ensuring that you will want to spend more time with her, creating a positive feedback loop that draws you closer. The push-pull dynamic, the magic of playful teasing. If she is playfully roasting you, she is actually flirting at a very high level. This is known as the push-pull dynamic. By gently mocking your coffee addiction, your obsession with a certain hobby, or your terrible taste in movies, she is creating a "we're in" on a secret vibe. Teasing is a safe way for her to test your outcome independence. She wants to see if you can handle a joke and if you're confident enough to play back. This back-and-forth banter creates a unique, exclusive bond that feels different from her conversations with anyone else. It adds a layer of mystery and excitement, proving that she is comfortable enough to challenge you. This is her way of showing that she isn't just another fan, she is your equal, and she is looking for a partner who can match her energy. 5. Social mirroring and emotional echoes, the subconscious sync. Laughter and body language are the ultimate indicators of subconscious alignment. When a woman is attracted to you, her brain begins to work in overtime to create a sense of harmony between the two of you. This isn't a conscious choice she's making. It is a biological drive to build rapport and close the emotional gap. If she is fantasizing about you, she will naturally begin to mirror your state, acting as an emotional echo to your every move. This synchronization is the invisible thread that ties two people together, signaling that her internal world is shifting to match yours. The laughter trigger and the halo effect. You've likely experienced a moment where you cracked a mediocre, half-hearted joke, and she laughed as if it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. This is a massive tell. In these moments, it's not about the quality of the humor, it's about the person delivering it. This is the halo effect in full swing. Because she is attracted to you, her brain projects a halo of positivity over everything you do. Her attraction literally amplifies her positive response to your words, making her more likely to find you charming, witty, and intelligent, even when you're just being yourself. Her laughter is a form of positive reinforcement. She is subconsciously rewarding you for interacting with her, creating an atmosphere of joy that makes both of you want the conversation to last forever. The chameleon effect, the dance of body language. Deep within our psychology lies the chameleon effect, a phenomenon where we instinctively mimic the posture and gestures of people we like or admire. Watch her closely. If you lean back in your chair and she does the same, or if you take a sip of your drink and she follows suit seconds later, you are witnessing a high-level biological connection. This mirroring is her brain's way of signaling that you are on the same page. By matching your physical state, she is reducing social distance and building immediate, unspoken trust. It is a nonverbal way of saying, I am like you, and I am with you. When your movements become synchronized, the vibe feels effortless because your bodies are already communicating a deep sense of agreement and attraction long before the topic of romance ever comes up. 6. Deep dive curiosity. The mental audition. Small talk is a social tool for strangers, but personal investigation is the strategy of a potential partner. When a woman moves past the surface level, how was your day, or what do you do for work, and starts digging into your history, your fears, and your dreams, the game has changed. She is no longer just passing time, she is conducting a deep dive assessment of who you are at your core. This shift in curiosity is a clear sign that she is fantasizing about how you might fit into your life on a permanent basis, fostering emotional intimacy by asking questions like, what were you like as a kid? Or, what is a memory that shaped who you are today? She is looking for vulnerabilities. She wants to see the man behind the mask. This is her way of building emotional intimacy, creating a private world that only the two of you inhabit. When you share these personal details, it creates a bond of trust that is incredibly difficult to break. She isn't just listening to your stories, she is collecting pieces of your identity to see how they fit with hers. She wants to know what makes you tick, because she is already mentally preparing for the possibility of a shared future. The future potential audit. The most telling sign of her curiosity is when she starts asking about your long-term vision. If she's inquiring about your 5-year plan, your views on marriage, or your unshakable standards for a partner, she is effectively mentally auditioning you for a role in her future. She is checking for alignment. She wants to know if your goals will clash with hers, or if your paths are heading in the same direction. This isn't just idle curiosity, it's a high-level compatibility test. She is trying to see if the fantasy she has of you in her head matches the reality of the man sitting in front of her. If she's asking the heavy questions, it's because she's already considered the possibility of you being the one to answer them for the long haul. 7. The coincidental presence, the gravity of attraction. If you start noticing that she always seems to be within your immediate orbit, you need to understand that this is rarely a stroke of luck or a simple coincidence. In the psychology of attraction, this is known as proximity seeking, and it is one of the most reliable ways a woman signals that her emotional compass is locked onto you. When a woman is fantasizing about you, she will naturally gravitate toward your physical space. Even if she doesn't have a functional reason to be there, she is essentially creating a theater of opportunity. By putting herself in your path, she is making it as easy as possible for a conversation to start, a joke to be shared, or a moment of tension to build. She is intentionally placing herself in your field of vision because she wants to be the first thing you notice when you look around. Think about the dynamics of a crowded room or a social gathering. If there are 50 empty chairs, but she consistently chooses the one right next to you, or if she stands just close enough for your shoulders to occasionally brush, she is sending a loud, nonverbal message. She is choosing your energy over everyone else's. This gravitational pull often extends beyond a single room. You might find her showing up at your favorite lunch spot, the gym at the same time as you, or lingering by your desk for a minor question that could have easily been an email. By constantly happening to be in the same vicinity, she is trying to build a sense of familiarity and shared routine. She wants her presence to feel like a natural, comfortable part of your day, making the transition from someone she knows to someone she's with feel inevitable. 8. The jealousy signal, the flicker of protection. While we are often told that jealousy is a negative trait to be avoided, in the early stages of attraction, a tiny flicker of it is actually a massive tell that her feelings have turned serious. This isn't about toxic control or possessiveness, it is about emotional vulnerability. When a woman begins to fantasize about a future with you, she starts to view your connection as something valuable and exclusive. The moment a potential competitor enters the conversation, that value is threatened. If you mention a female friend, a coworker, or a past date, and you notice a sudden shift in her demeanor, a tightening of her jaw, a slight coldness in her tone, or a barrage of innocent, investigative questions, you are seeing her protective instinct in action. This subtle jealousy is her way of revealing that she has skin in the game. She isn't just a casual observer of your life, she is someone who fears losing the ground she's gained with you. You might notice her energy drop or her laughter stop the moment another woman's name is mentioned. This emotional cooling is a subconscious reaction to the fear of being replaced or sidelined. She might try to play it off as curiosity, asking things like, "Oh, how long have you known her?" Or, "Is she someone you're close with?" But the subtext is always the same. She is assessing the threat level. This response proves that she sees you as more than just a friend. You don't get jealous over people you don't value, so when you see that flicker of protective tension, take it as a definitive sign that she is deeply invested in being the primary woman in your life.